very good morning to all the dignitaries, faculty members, and my student fraternity. I'm Hamnada and my along with my co-host Chandni. On behalf of GK Department, welcome you all for the day 2 of National Conference on AI Applications in Electrical Sciences 2025.
At the outset, let's invite our dignitaries onto the dais. With immense pleasure, I request the convener of
NCAIAES-2K25 and head of the department, Dr. A.S.L.K. Gopalamma, onto the dais.
I request our beloved principal, Dr. R. Vaikuntarao Garu, to share the dais to the HOD.
I take the privilege to welcome the vision of DIE, Sri Dadi Ratnakar, Chairman, to grace the dais.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's rise and welcome today's chief guest and the keynote speaker, Mr.N. Suresh, Infosys Data Center Head.
Before we begin this auspicious event, let's start with a symbolic gesture that's significant our culture. That's lighting of lamp. I request all the dignitaries on the dais to come. Mahadeva Sutam Guru Guhanutam Mahadeva Sutam Guru Guhanutam Marakoti Prakasham Shantam Mahakavya Natakadipriyam Mahakavya Natakadipriyam Musika Vahana Modakapriyam Mahakavya Natakadipriyam Musika Vahana Modakapriyam Mahaganapatim Sri Mahaganapatim.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to invite Dr. A.S.L.K. Gopalamma, ma'am, HOD Tripoli, and the convener of NCAIAES 2025 to give the opening remarks.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, Principal of DIE Dr. R. Vaikuntarao Garu, Chairman of DIE Dadi Ratnakar Garu, and Mr. N. Suresh Garu, Infosys Delivery Head, and my dear ACM members, all the HODs, Core Council members, IEEE students, BBC volunteers, and NSS team, DLCC coordinators, and all the organizing team, and my beloved students, a warm welcome to NCAIS 2025 conference, second day. So being a convener, it's privilege to give the glimpses of day 1 of this conference. So the day 1 is having a electrifying keynote sessions from the IEEE Chair, PE's chapter, and the Dean of Plan and Development, NIT Andhra Pradesh, Dr. B. Sandeep Garu. It's an excellent session. And also he encouraged the students and also encouraged DIE to host next year IEEE conference. So a huge response is coming for our conference. Nearly 194 papers out of 350 responses selected for the conference presentations, and further those are published in valid ISBN number as a book chapter. Though the DIE has so many milestones like rural outreach program or else the book publications and national conferences. So my dear students, DIE always promotes the 4 Ds. One is dedication towards your work and your culture, and deterministic nature towards your studies. And the most important is discipline. Discipline is the highest priority in DIE. And the 4th one is donation to the society. that is most important. As a token of this, we have initiated last year Diet Rural Outreach Program. Now it's time to inculcate what really the society needs. So without any further delay, we need to know the importance of our role to the upcoming society. So electrifying speeches are awaiting for you all. And the only thing is, if you are ready to learn, the environment around you will become a teacher. With this note, I am concluding. Thank you. Happy learning.
Thank you, ma'am. I am pleased to invite our dear principal to address the gathering.
Good morning. Welcome to the second day of this conference. And really we are very much thankful to our today's keynote speaker, Mr. Suresh Garu, Data Center Head, Infosys. He doesn't have much time, but all the way came down here to address you guys. The main thing is his intention is to encourage the young engineers into the software, not leaving your core branches. That is the main motto of him. He is not from software, like computer science branch. He is from mechanical, but how he is been to software, he is going to tell you everything. And this, I said they may answer a question. Then he said simply, I have entered almost 11 to 12,000 students as of now, but no student answered me my question. That is what is Faraday's law. Then I told him, sir, nowadays everybody is shifting to computer science. That's why they might have forgotten Faraday's law. I told him that. Then he said, whatever it may be, the fundamentals should be same forever. So the students must learn the fundamentals, then they can come back to the software side. But just ఆలోచించండి. But sir is going to address everything, and like the next 1.5 hour session will be really going to be good, and enjoy the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to invite our dynamic chairman, sir, to give a word of encouragement to the gathering.
ముందుగా నిన్న ప్రారంభించినటువంటి సెషన్ నేషనల్ కాన్ఫరెన్స్ ఆన్ ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ అండ్ ఎథికల్ సైన్సెస్. మరి ఈరోజు మా అందరితో పాటు కార్యక్రమానికి వచ్చినటువంటి సురేష్ గారికి ప్రత్యేకంగా కృతజ్ఞతలు. ఎందుకంటే ఇన్ఫోసిస్ ఒక మల్టీనేషనల్ కంపెనీని ఇక్కడ ఆంధ్ర రాష్ట్రంలో, ముఖ్యంగా సిటీ ఆఫ్ డెస్టినీ విశాఖపట్నం అనగానే అందరూ కూడా హైదరాబాద్ తర్వాత ఆకర్షించేటువంటి సిటీ విశాఖపట్నం. విశాఖపట్నం సిటీలో ఇన్ఫోసిస్ సంస్థని అనేక వందల మంది ఉద్యోగస్తులతో ప్రతిష్టాత్మకంగా మేనేజ్ చేసినటువంటి సురేష్ గారికి ప్రత్యేకంగా మన విశాఖపట్నం అందరి తరపున కూడా కృతజ్ఞతలు చెప్పాలి. ఎందుకంటే మన ముఖ్యమంత్రి చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారు, అలాగే మొన్న హెచ్ఆర్డీ మినిస్టర్ లోకేష్ గారు కూడా మన ఏదో మా వైజాగ్లో కాన్ఫరెన్స్ అవుతా ఉన్నప్పుడు కూడా సురేష్ గారితో అనేక ఒప్పందాలు, అంటే ఇంకా సిటీ ఆఫ్ డెస్టినీలో మరింత వాళ్ళ ఇన్ఫోసిస్ సెంటర్ కూడా ఎక్స్పాండ్ చేయమని కోరడం, దాని అంతా కూడా వాళ్ళు ప్రయత్నాలు చేయడం, తప్పకుండా విశాఖపట్నంలో కూడా వాళ్ళు ఎక్స్పాన్షన్ ఇంకా చేసి మరింత మంది ఇక్కడ సెంటర్లోనే వర్క్ చేసుకునేటట్టుగా వాళ్ళు కూడా కృషి చేస్తున్నందుకు మరొకసారి ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేస్తున్నాను. మా అందరికీ తెలిసి ఇవాళ టెక్నాలజీస్ పరంగా రెవల్యూషన్స్, ఇవాళ నిన్న ఉన్నటువంటి టెక్నాలజీ ఇవాళ ఉండట్లేదు, ఇవాళ ఉండే టెక్నాలజీ రేపు ఉండట్లేదు. మనం ఎప్పటికప్పుడు అప్డేట్ చేసుకోవాల్సినటువంటి అవసరం ఉంది. మనం లేదంటే మనం అప్డేట్ అయిపోతా ఉంటాం, మనకు తెలిసిందే. అందుకని ఇన్ని కాన్ఫరెన్సెస్ మీ అందరికీ తెలుసు. ఈ మంత్లో అయితే ఆల్మోస్ట్ మా యాక్టివిటీస్ ఎవ్రీ డే ఆల్మోస్ట్ 28 days, 25 days యాక్టివిటీస్ జరుగుతూనే ఉన్నాయి. కంటిన్యూస్ ఇవాళ మననే ఇస్రోకి కూడా మీ అందరూ కూడా వెళ్ళి రావడం జరిగింది. మెటెక్ జోన్ కూడా డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటర్స్ వెళ్ళి రావడం జరిగింది. ఇంకా చాలా పైప్ లైన్లో ఉన్నాయి. అవన్నీ కూడా ఈ నెక్స్ట్ 15th లోపు ఇవన్నీ కూడా కంప్లీట్ చేయడానికి చూస్తా ఉన్నాం. ఏదైనా ఏ సెషన్ పెట్టినప్పుడు దాని ద్వారా బెనిఫిట్ పొందడానికి చూడాలి. మీ అందరూ ఊరికే సెషన్లో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేసి వెళ్ళిపోయాము కాకుండా ఇవాళ చాలా అంటే టైం లేకపోయినా కూడా మనం పిలిచినంత వరకు ఆయన 4-5 రోజుల నుంచి బయట క్యాంప్ లో ఉన్నారు. రాగానే నిన్నే వచ్చారు మధ్యాహ్నం, మేము కలిసాం. ఈవేళ ఇక్కడికి రావడం జరిగింది. అంటే అంత స్టూడెంట్స్ ఇంటరాక్ట్ అయితే ఉపయోగపడుతుందని వాళ్ళ సమయాన్ని కేటాయిస్తున్నందుకు ఆ సమయాన్ని మనం యూటిలైజ్ చేసుకోవాలి. సో ఇక్కడ మనం చూసేది 250 మంది ఉన్నాం. 250 మంది సెషన్ కాదు. మీరు ఈ 250 మీరు ఏదైతే గ్రహించారో, అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తున్నారో ఇవాళ ఈ సెషన్ ద్వారా, అది మీ కొలీగ్స్ కానీ మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ కానీ అలాగే మీ లైఫ్ లో కానీ మీరు ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయగలగాలి, ఆచరణలో పెట్టాలి. అప్పుడు ఈ సెషన్ ద్వారా ఉపయోగం. అందువల్ల క్యారీ ఫార్వర్డ్ ఆల్ దీస్ బెనిఫిట్స్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ సెషన్ టు యువర్ ఎంటైర్ కెరీర్, నాట్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ దిస్ ఇయర్, ఫర్ యువర్ కోర్స్ షెడ్యూల్ ఆర్ వాట్ ఎవర్. ఈ 4 years బీటెక్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడే అని కాదు. So this has to be carry forward to your entire journey of your career. So I don't want to take much of the time, and I once again thank Suresh garu for coming all the way to address our students, and I request him also to continue his help and guidance to our students in near future for their prosperous career. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I invite Ms. Maunika to introduce our today's chief guest and keynote speaker. Good morning, everyone. I, B. Maunika from 2nd EEE, feel privileged to introduce our today's chief guest and keynote speaker, Mr. Mr.NARRA, the data center head of Infosys, Visakhapatnam. Mr. Mr.NARRA completed his BTech degree from Regional Engineering College, Warangal, and has built an illustrious career in IT sector. He started his career as software engineer at Metanur Global Solution, which is now NTT Data. He later contributed significantly at Satyam Computer before joining Infosys. 19 years ago, as technology analyst, today he leads Infosys Visakhapatnam with remarkable expertise. He is a highly accomplished leader with a vast experience in retail, machine learning and banking domains. His ability to drive strategic growth, foster innovation and emerging technologies has been instrumental in shaping the success of the teams he leads. Beyond his technical and strategic contributions, he is also a champion of talent development. He holds the distinction of making the highest number of fresher recruitment for Infosys, strengthening its workforce immensely. His commitment to nurturing talent and fostering a positive work culture has earned him the Best People's Manager Award twice, as a testament to his outstanding leadership and mentorship. With such an inspiring journey and invaluable contributions to IT industry, it is a privilege to have Mr.NARRA with us today. I request Mr. Chief Guest and Keynote Speaker to deliver his valuable message to the gathering. We welcome you, sir.
Good morning. That's better. So, thank you, Ratnakar sir, for inviting me here. Coming to your college after around 12 years or 11 years. I was here in 2014, I think, for preparing your students as the freshers. So, it did not change much, but I see the value system still the same. So, your father is a great motivational leader for our young generation, so we follow his footsteps like you have. And for your request, I'm always there to serve your college. Don't worry. First thing, I will give you an assurance. You can identify 35 students, 35 to 40 students of your best students. We will do a one-day workshop on Infosys campus. And make sure the 40 students should be from all branches of engineers. I don't want computer science engineers. Okay? So, how many of you are from computer science engineering in this room? See, you are doing a session on electrical engineering and you're filled with computer science students. So, how many of you are from electrical engineers? Good. Mechanical? Okay. EC? Okay, quite a few. So, since most of you are computer science engineers and the other electrical and electronics guys wants to join the IT industry is what I think. So, how many of the other branch of engineers want to be part of the IT industry? Only one. So, I saw some 30 students from other branches, only one wants to join IT industry. And I was like the remaining 29 people when I studied my engineering as a mechanical engineer. Completed my mechanical engineering in 2000. I also did not want to join IT company. Because I spent 4 years of my life for mechanical engineering. Why should I go and write computer programming, right? That's the thought process you have. But all of you are from middle class or lower middle class families. Yes or no? Your father is an employee or a farmer or is not a big industrialist or something, right? That's only 0.5% of this group or not even 0.1% of this. All of you are from a middle class or a lower middle class family for whom a job is a must. And my parents, I would proudly say, they also went as a labor to farms, pick up mangoes and milchies in rural village of Murjidu. But end of the day, you need a job. And 90% of engineers are hired by IT industry. Whether it is mechanical engineer or electrical engineer or a civil engineer or a computer science engineer, IT industry needs them. Since you all are computer science engineers, right, most of you, what do a software engineer do in a day-to-day life? Any idea? What does he do? Programming? Write programs? No. When I started my career, we used to write programs. Now that we are not writing programs full time. AI came, it will write your program. Now why do I need programmers? Then what are they doing? When I started my career as a software engineer, my lead used to give me a program, tell me this is the requirement. You write a program to fulfill this requirement. That's what I started my career. Then slowly it went on, why only this program? I need to know the bigger picture of what is happening. So they gave me a problem statement and I started giving solution. So the software engineer became a systems engineer. Since I am solving a problem. Now I have 3.25 lakhs of engineers working in Infosys, right from CEO till a software developer. All of them are solution providers. Now industry is changing. We have historical data of 80 years, 90 years of data available with us. Now why should I solve a problem? Why should the problem occur? Now how do I predict what would happen in future and come up with a solution now so that that problem does not happen? That's what a software engineer does today. So, you understood what we are doing now? we are predicting a problem, this could occur, and come up with a solution to make sure that does not occur. I have 40 employees working for me for Adidas point of sale system. All of you heard of Adidas? Adidas is a sports wear manufacturing company, global sports wear manufacturing company, second in the world. So I work for Adidas from Infosys side, and I am the delivery partner for Adidas. So they wanted to reduce their sample cost from 100 million to some 10% or 50% reduction software cost, the sample cost. We took their historical data and did some analysis on that and came up with a solution where we were able to reduce their sample cost from 94 million to 9 million. So understand, now it's a 91% reduction. The idea, you know, how did we do this? How the ideas came from us? They came from fresh engineers, SCTs, like people like you. So that's the reason we want you guys to be part of Infosys or any IT company. It's not Infosys, I'm talking in general of IT industry, right? What are computer science programs written for? For whom do we write programs? Any idea? Computer science learners, C programming, Python. Ever person to solve some problem. Whose problem is it? It's the problem of mechanical engineer or an electrical engineer or a civil engineer. End of the day, your computer science program has to solve a problem of a mechanical engineer. Why I said it is important for you guys to understand that you can make a better living in IT industry compared to the computer science engineers is because I can make you learn software engineering or software program or whatever related software in 3 to 6 months, and you will become an integrated engineer. Basically, you will know software, you know your core subject, and you are solving a problem of the core subject. So you will be much more important for the organizations like us to come up and identify the problem that can occur in future. If I know only computer science, I have no Java or Python, I should know where I should use it, right? That is where your core engineering subjects make an important decision. When I was talking to your principal sir and others, I asked electrical engineering seminar, I want to talk to the electrical engineering students and say, how many of you know Faraday law of electromagnetic induction? Then he said, sir, most of them knows it. I said, I have done some 10,000 plus interviews. 90% of them did not tell me what Faraday law of electromagnetic induction is, where we use it. I am a mechanical engineer. I am very perfect in it today because I had to work in a project where I need to think of electrical efficiencies in transmission lines. I was working for a company called EMAT, a Dubai-based company, where they are a construction company, civil construction company, but they were also bidding for a transmission lines project in Dubai. And we had to do improve the efficiencies of it. That is where I learned electrical engineering. I had to spend 6 months learning electrical engineering. If I had an electrical engineer with me, I would have done that 6 months would have saved for us, right? So there are electrical engineers here, right? I saw some hands raised here. Why are the substations built in multiples of 11? Any idea? తప్పు చెప్పిన ప్రాబ్లం లేదు నాకు మాట్లాడకుండా కూర్చుంటే I don't like it. And I don't want the kabaddi. అందరు మాట్లాడరు ఎవరైనా ఒకరు హ్యాండ్ రైజ్ చేయాలి తెలిస్తే తెలుసా చెప్పండి లేదంటే లేదు మల్టిపుల్స్ ఆఫ్ 11 you heard of form factor? What is it? Form factor ఎంత sinusoidal wave కి 1.1. So that's the reason to get the highest efficiency of transmission, your substations are all built in multiples of 11. One biggest character that we see or we need in a software engineer is ask questions. You should start asking questions. How many of you are from China? Chaitanya Narayana. So even I have twin boys, they also studied in Chaitanya. So they were preparing for the MCET examination. I wanted to see what they are doing. So I sat with them and was trying to solve problems. We took 4 problems and I was doing the entire steps-wise things, and they saw the question and they wrote the answer. I said, how did you get this answer? No, for this question, answer is this. And I was putting step-wise and coming to the answer. Then they were saying, so I'm not blaming anyone, that's how our society has been, right? So now come out of the Chaitanya Narayana way of learning. That is still only till 12th class or intermediate. That's where you need to stop that. Now you are entering engineering college and next step is to enter into the corporate world. Even if you give me wrong answer, but explain me the approach of getting that answer, I will give you a job. You give me a correct answer but don't know the approach or you get confused in the approach, I will not give a job. I rejected students with 9.8 or 99% marks of engineering, but selected kids with 68%, 70% score. Because the answer was wrong, but they had an approach and they were able to explain me the approach properly. Now I can fine tune his correct his approach and direct him to channel him to the right answer. But a person who does not know the approach but gave me a correct answer, right? So I need people who I can channelize. So if you are thinking of a problem, you need to come with multiple steps. Now we are doing a session, this session is on AI in power systems for electrical engineering, right? How many of you know what AI is? What is the backbone of AI? Everyone knows artificial intelligence. What is it? The backbone of AI is the historical data that we have. We have 100 years of data or 150 years of data, right? Now, I have data. What should I do? You need to use that data to come up with certain scenarios and identify what could be a problem in future based on this data. Right. So AI is a big buzzword, full smart word today. If I don't talk of AI, I am not an engineer, sort of a thing is happening in the world. But it's all driven by data. And if you cannot analyze data, you cannot be an AI engineer. Now you can see a lot of years you get cyclones. What month or month of the year you get cyclones predominantly? It will be in the month of August to November. What will happen if a cyclone comes from an electrical engineer's point of view? Transmission lines get disturbed, the substations get disturbed. Now, you cannot predict what happens, right? Now, if you have historical data, you know what time or what period cyclone can come, what could be the intensity of it. We are all predicting these things nowadays, right? We are saying within 15 days a cyclone is coming in Bay of Bengal. It will come towards Chennai or Visakhapatnam or Bhubaneswar. Sort of thing. This is what we hear in August to November every year. And you know what intensity it is going to come. Now, how do you come up with a solution to protect your entire transmission lines and other things. That is what AI can help you with the data that you have in the past. You can predict what could happen, and you can create models, come up with a solution which can, it will not stop with the devastation or anything, but it will reduce the impact of the devastation. If you remember Hudud cyclone, how many of you remember? You would have been studying some 7th or 8th or 10th class, right? How many people died? 0? But there was devastation. The biggest devastation that happened. Such big cyclones happen once in a century or once in 50 years or so. But how did we protect our lives? That's a case study even today in IITs. What are the precautions they took? How did they ensure? What is the defensive mechanism that the government used that day to make sure there's a zero loss of life? All those things came up before AI was in picture. How? They had data. This could be the intensity. This is the region that could hit. So let's take care of our public. That's how AI will help you now. Those days, all the IAS officers, Chief Minister office and other things, they took that data and did a manual sort of analysis and came up with solution. Today, systems are there, they give you that solution. And how do you implement it is with how we administer the situation. So I'll tell you 4 things which I followed in my life and what I want my juniors who would join Infosys or any IT company to follow in life. 1, don't go behind money. Say one company can offer you 50 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 20 lakhs per annum. End of the day, what is the learning that you're going to get? That is important. Second, be disciplined. And I know this college is biggest name for discipline, and I truly trust that. Third, if you have a value system, be strong on that value system. Don't go, if anyone comes and tells you to change, also don't change. That identifies you as an individual. Fourth, come to college every day, come to office every day. You have to distinguish between your personal life and your professional life. Make sure that distinguishing happens. And if you have to spend more time to work, you have to spend more time. My first 3 years of software engineer, I hardly took leave. I was working 365 days, at least 18, 19 hours. Those 3 years, my pace was so strong that I was able to enjoy my remaining 22 years of my life. First 3 years, I spent 18 hours a day. Remaining 22 years, I'm spending only 9 hours a day. But my work does not impact, my efficiency did not get impacted. So the core is your basics have to be strong. Whatever branch of engineering you are studying, make sure that your basics are very strong. When you attend a corporate interview, no one expects you to do in-depth of subject knowledge or anything. They expect you to know the basics of your subject. As I said, for electrical engineers, we had a law of mathematics. Fleming's left-hand rule, right-hand rule, where to use right-hand rule and where to use left-hand rule. Right-hand rule is used for motors, right? Yes, correct. Right-hand rule is used for motors. Generators, right? Because RIGST, G is there, so that is generator. That's how I remember. I'm a mechanical engineer here. I need to know shortcuts to remember things. Then understood why that right-hand rule is for generators and left-hand rule is for motors. So make sure you get your learnings such a way that you can remember them easily and implement them easily. I have 5 minutes for you. Any questions that you have, I'll answer. One last thing, I look at 4 characteristics in young engineers for me to be a part of the corporate world. 4 characters. 1, your communication skills. What do you mean by communication skills? English lo maatladtama? Meghna kuda maatladindi English lo. Telusa Meghna? మీ అందరికీ అర్థమవుతుందని చెప్తున్నాను. వాళ్ళని ఏమి ఇంప్రెస్ చేయటం కాదు కానీ అలా కాదు. You will understand better. And you heard me for 20 minutes now, 20-25 minutes. Did I talk any word that you did not understand? I did not use any big vocabulary. I spoke simple English. And this is what we wanted. I don't want you to talk vocabulary, big GRE words into English, which I don't understand. And if you speak also, I understood, mistook it to the opposite of what you have spoken. Your interview is screwed up. Right? So we look at communication skills with simple English. I don't want, if you have accent, that is good. You don't have accent, it's much good. Very good. Okay? Simple English, if you can talk, that's enough. అందరు భయపెట్టేస్తారు మిమ్మల్ని, మీకు ఇంగ్లీష్ రాదు, మీకు ఉద్యోగం రాదు అని. ఇంగ్లీష్ రావాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. Simple, what you think in Telugu, put it in your mind for 30 seconds and convert that into English and then talk. I want you to give me a promise from today, all of you would speak in college English only. Yes or no? You want to give me that promise? That's better for your life, not for me. Okay? Or talk in English. Even if you speak wrong, your friends pull your legs. వాడు ఏమంటాడో ఈమెమంటుందో నేను దాన్ని తప్పు మాట్లాడితే అది వాళ్ళ కర్మ, మీ కర్మ కాదు కదా. మీరు, ఇట్స్ ఫర్ యూ. యూ నీడ్ టు గ్రో. సో యూ ప్రామిస్ మీ దట్ యుల్ టాక్ ఓన్లీ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్ ఫ్రమ్ టుడే. Second, we look at basics. I told some basics of electrical engineer. For electronics engineers, I want them to know what a semiconductor is. If I ask for the 5 or 6 or 10 students who are there in electronics from here, if I ask them what a semiconductor is, they'll say semiconductor is a machine or a device which acts as a conductor or an insulator. Then I said, what? Is it a device? Semiconductor is not a device. It does not partially conduct. But the answer I get is semiconductor is a device which partially conducts electricity. That semiconductor is an element which can act as a conductor or as an insulator based on the conditions prevailing. What are the conditions? Temperature and voltage supply. So you can make it a conductor or an insulator based on your requirements. That is why we invented the switch. We wanted whenever the power has to come or off, I need something, right? That is how the switch was invented. Your diode. Diode acts as a switch. So you need to understand that basics. Okay? For mechanical engineer, if you don't know the difference between a 4-stroke engine and a 2-stroke engine, then I don't know what you have done in the 4 years. Some people say all petrol engines are 2-stroke engines, all diesel engines are 4-stroke engines. This is the common answer I get. So your basics are very important. Third, you need to know what's happening in the world. We are talking of AI. Knowing AI is good, but your basics are much, much important than knowing AI. You have basics and you know the gist of AI, then you are the superstar in the young kids. You know AI, you don't know basics of your engineering, then you are not fit to be part of it. You are strong on your basics, it does not take much time to learn AI. So think in that line. Fourth, your planning and organizing skills. And I'm sure with the discipline that we have in this college, You are very good in that planning and organizing skills. Any questions for me? I said one character that a software engineer needs to have is to ask questions. Start learning that. Because the Chaitanya Narayana way of learning stops you questioning.
Myself and myself first AC. Nowadays AI is dominating in every sector. So students like government, EC and EEE, what we have to learn to get placements, better placements in IT sectors.
See, I told you, right? When I interviewed a electrical or a mechanical or a civil student, my cutoff is here. But if I interview a computer science student, my cutoff is here. So for me, your basics are very important. If you don't know the basics, I will not do your job even if you write new programs. So I will interview on your subject, on your basics. And if you are good in that, then I would expect you to learn one programming language. It could be Python or C or C++ or Java. Any of one programming language is sufficient. And if I ask you to write a program, a simple program, you should not hesitate to write a program. You will get a job, 100%. But if a computer science student denies writing a program, how strong his basics are, I will not do them a job. Because their bread and butter is writing a program. Computer science students, the interview would be tough. It's not that easy. These guys their interview will be very, very easy. So make sure you pull up your socks. You're good in one programming language, could be C, Python, Java or anything. And ready to write any program that I want you to write for me on that day. That is sufficient for me. Because you think of data analytics, cloud computing, AI, ML and all those machine learning languages and other things. When you join any IT company, they'll not put you directly onto those projects. But they are mission critical projects. For us, we want someone who understands systems better than work on them. So you will be starting from the base. Learn it and then go there. To learn and make you nurture and channelize you to that path, I need your basics to be very strong. If I said I won't join IT industry, I would have worked in mechanical industry, I would have been in some industry, some as a director in some mechanical industry. I would have not got an opportunity to work for Airbus. You know what Airbus is? Airbus is the top aeroplane manufacturing company. I work for Boeing. It's also top aeroplane manufacturing company. I work for Harley Davidson. You know, Harley Davidson is the world's best bikes. I work for BMW. BMW is the best car manufacturer in the world. I work for Adidas today. I'm working for Adidas, which is the best sportswear company in the world. I work for Walmart. How many of you know Walmart? I don't know. That's the biggest retailer of the world. I would have not got opportunities to work with this global giants if I was part of mechanical engineer. Would have joined some Castrol. I got my campus job in Castrol India Limited in Pune. I would have stayed in Pune working for the Castrol for my life. I would have not known this globe. So if you have any doubt that I want to work in the electrical or mechanical or electronics, please think over it. We are solving problems of electrical engineers, electrical engineering problems only in IT industry. So I want you as much as I want a computer science student. And I am here to give jobs to every branch of engineering. Not only Infosys, any IT company would want all branch of engineers to be part because we solve problem of those engineers, of those engineering branches. And now next generation, everyone feels AI is coming, all jobs will be lost. No. When I started my career, I was put on mainframes. And then Y2K is done. There's nothing in mainframes. You will not make your career. Why are you into mainframes and other things? Even today, mainframes is still working. Mainframe jobs are still there. And we still rely on mainframes because all your Java client server machines, a virus can impact, but mainframes virus cannot be impacted. Your AS400 machines, all the ATM that run on AS400 machines is an ATM mainframe machine. Why are they there? Because they don't get virus. Or your Java servers and other things that's impacted by viruses. Everything has its own advantages and disadvantages. AI is coming means it will knock out 10% of jobs in certain areas, but open up 90% of jobs in other areas. I am sure it will be 4x more of IT jobs coming in next 5 years because of AI. So any fear that AI is coming and we will not get jobs is a myth. I can confidently tell you it will be a 4x of jobs that are going to come. Whatever jobs we saw in 2020 because of the COVID and boom in digitalization and other things, the cycle is going to be back on 2027. So 2 years from now, you should be ready to take up those challenges. At that point of time, anyone was able to talk ABCD, we give a job. Just you want to put a person in front of the client who can talk ABCD. That's going to come back again. And in a new avatar, and if you are not prepared for that, you will miss the bus. So make sure your basics are strong and understand the data and how you can use the data to predict a problem and come up with a solution to fix it. This is what would be the future of IT engineers, who are called prompt engineers. From software engineer, systems engineer, today you will be called as prompt engineers. Prompt engineer is how do you question the AI machine to get the efficient solution for your problem. So if you explain the problem in an efficient way, you get an efficient solution with the data available in the past. So that is what we need to learn today. And it's not problem solving. We are looking from problem identification. How do you get a solution before a problem occurs is what the IT industry is looking today. Thank you sir for inviting me. Hope I made some sense to you. Yeah.
Sir, you said that you did nearly 10,000 interviews. May I know what are the key qualities you look for in a fresher while recruitment?
I told right 4 qualities. I said right communication skills, basic communication skills. I am not looking at high vocabulary, Meghna English. I am looking at simple English. Second, your basics of the subject. I told what I asked in the interview for electrical engineer, mechanical engineer and electronics engineer. Third, your discipline, your planning and organizing skills. And fourth, what is happening in the world. That's it. That's what I want. And one programming language of your choice. You decide the programming language that you want to learn. But be perfect. One thing I'll tell you. Whatever I learned it perfectly. My engineering percentage is 68. My 10th percentage is 68. My intermediate percentage is 68. 68.2, 68.3, but it's a 68. I'm not a 90% student or a 95% student. But whatever I learned, that 68 or 70%, I was perfect. So my MCET rank was 122. I know students with 95% of intermediate getting 95,000 rank. Whatever you learn only 4 chapters in your subject, but be perfect in that. That will show you a path to growth. Okay?
So can we expect any offline internships or industry visits?
That's what I said, right? First one, the first sentence of me was, identify 40 students from your college. I will do a workshop in my campus, Infosys campus, for 40 students. I'll talk to the principal sir and see if finalize a date, and also I'll have to check my ETA, Education and Training Department staff, when they can do it. So most probably we will do it in April, for sure. April last week we will plan for that. See, for me, if you ask whether internships are there in Infosys, we don't encourage internships. We give internships to very few people. Those are also who got selected for Infosys, and the university allows them to come and work in our Infosys organization for 6 months. Internship is good to have, but for the sake of having a line entry in your resume, you go there, visit that campus, come out without learning anything, does not make any sense. If you don't do internship also, that's okay for me. But if you go there, learn what is happening in that organization, in depth of what is happening, then it makes value. Same is the case of certification. All of them say that I am Microsoft certified, AWS certified, and all those things. End of the day, you have done the certification, but how much of you learned in it is important. You don't have a certificate, but you know what is happening in AWS or what's happening in Microsoft technologies or anything, that is important. Having certification and not answering any of those basic questions will go negative towards you. Same with internship. If you have internship, you need to put your energies. You need to put 15 hours, 16 hours along with that project team to learn what's happening. Then internship has a value. I go swipe, have coffee, tea, and go back. Just like what you're doing in the college, you will not learn anything. Right? Thank you.
After 4 years of degree, I want a higher package. What skills?
So my first statement, don't go behind money. My first statement, don't go behind money. Your first 3 years, I started my career since I got selected to Castrol, and some churn happened in Castrol company and they were not able to honor my offer. So I had to get back, and I worked in Metamor Global Solutions. Today it is called NTT Data. For 6 months, zero salary for me. First 3 years, 365 days I was in office working for 18 hours. Learning matters. After that, money started coming towards me. I did not go towards money. Money started coming towards me. So first, my suggestion, first 3 years is your life. Build a strong foundation that will give you future for next 25, 27 years. First 3 years you run behind money. Money will avoid you after 5 years. That I can give you in writing also. I know my friends who left Infosys for a higher package and now calling me and saying, can we come back? So money cannot buy you anything, a lot of things. After some amount, it's all building your bank balance. It does not help you to learn anything. So first, if you learn everything, money automatically comes and sits in your bank balance. So if you want, now for your question, right? If you want a higher package, yeah, that's a good aim or aspiration to have. You need to be very strong in programming skills. You should be able to define architecture of a simple project by the time you complete your engineering. So in Infosys, we have 3 levels of entry levels. One we give 11.5 lakhs package, which is called specialist programmers. We give 7 lakhs package to digital specialist engineers. And the third one is a systems engineer, where we give 3.7 lakhs. Aim for the 11 lakhs. What we look at that 11 lakhs package, right? We look at kids who have strong affinity of programming, who can write efficient programming. Underline the word efficient. and who can think bigger problem and identify the risk of what problems are going to come are part of my 11.5 lakhs package. What is efficient programming? A simple example, I want you to give me a program or a logic, sum of even numbers between 1 to 10. What comes to your mind? Sum of even numbers between 1 to 10, I take a number, put it in a loop, divide by 2, remainder is 0. I add, send it into the loop and add it. That's what you all got, right? That's not efficient programming, that's normal programming. I initialize the number to 0 and say plus 2. Now you understood what is the difference between efficient programming and normal programming. Plus 2 is all, plus 2s are all even numbers. Sum all the even numbers, you get that. Why is this efficient programming? Because for computers, memory is money. How much less memory you use to get higher output, that is efficient programming. For division or modulus that you use to identify whether memory is even or odd, you need to store the remainder, you need to store the quotient, you need to store the numbers also. So you are using higher memory. In addition, you just need to store that single digit number. So that is what efficient programming is. This is a simple example which I can tell you, which you can understand better. So you should be very good in efficient programming. That will get you those 11 lakhs package. Okay? Right, thank you. Last one. See, any sector, I'm telling you, right, I told also, right? I started with and mainframes is still there. There are always emerging technologies coming and you learn those technologies. What is relevant today is not relevant tomorrow. 3 years or 5 years back, we were talking of big data. Do you hear big data now? Today we are talking of AI, machine learning and other things. Within 2 years, you will not talk of these words. So you need to be relevant at whatever that time, right? So, see, I told you, your basics should be strong and you should know basics of what's happening in the world relevant. You should understand what it is. But I don't want you to have in-depth of knowledge of those. That is my responsibility once you join my organization, to get you in-depth of the latest trends. And you will not be given the opportunity to work on those in-depth of things. We wanted you to know what is happening, and based on that, we will fine-tune you to get into that. But you should be aware of what's happening. Today we are talking about AI, ML, prompt engineers and other things. Tomorrow there could be something else, but you should know that something else also. Okay? Thank you. Nice talking to you. You are good. Last one. I don't have time. See, I said, right, you did not listen to me the entire story that I told. I was very clear. Electrical engineers should know the basics in one programming language, whether it is C, Java, Python or anything. That is sufficient for you to get into any IT company. Once you get in the IT company, they will take care of you based on their business demand, how they can use you into that business scenario. But for you to get the first step into that, you should be knowing your basics of electrical engineering and one programming language. And within that programming language, if you can code the efficient programming techniques that I just spoke, you will also get that 11 lakhs package. I don't distinguish between a computer science and an electrical engineer. If you are ready for that challenge, you will get that 11 lakh package. Okay? Right, thank you. Nice talking to you guys.
Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. With that gratitude, we would like to honor our today's chief guest and the keynote speaker with a token of love and gratitude. I request the dignitaries on the dais to come forward and felicitate today's chief guest. I also request the head of the departments and the core council to join.
फोटो करना बेचना अट्लरा
Now, I call Mrs. K. Anthony Jose, Assistant Professor Tripoli, to propose a vote of thanks to this talent.
Good morning, everyone. Dear distinguished guests, heads of the departments, faculty members, and my dear student friends. I, K. Anthony Jose, on behalf of the Department of Tripoli, propose the vote of thanks as we come to the end of the two-day national conference on AI applications in electrical sciences, which held on the 26th and 27th March 2025. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has made this conference possible. At the outset, I would like to thank our today's chief guest and keynote speaker, Mr. NARRA Garu, Data Center Head Infosys, Visakhapatnam, who has come all the way in spite of his busy schedule to enlighten the minds of the young graduates by sharing his valuable insights and expertise in building their career. Thank you very much, sir. I take the opportunity to thank our chairman, sir, for the unwavering support and guidance towards the successful completion of this two-day national conference. Thank you, sir. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Principal, sir, for his continued support in making this conference successful. Thank you. I take this opportunity to thank all the HODs, core council members, and my faculty members for making this national conference a great success. But not the least, all the volunteers of the BBC, DLCC, NSS, IEEE, ISTE, student chapters, and all the student members who are present here for making this for two-day national conference a grand success. Thank you, one and all. I request the dignitaries on the dais and off dais to rise for the national anthem.
जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हे